80% of the businesses that I built when I first started, they failed. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana, and yeah, it's a little chaotic over here, but we do the best we can and we move. I have been an entrepreneur for, if this is 2025, I started my first entrepreneurial endeavor in 2014. So this would actually make my 11th year of being a full-time entrepreneur. I consider myself a serial entrepreneur. I've had multiple businesses, and much like any entrepreneur will tell you, 80% of the businesses that I built when I first started, they failed. For different reasons, but mostly just because they were all learning experiences. And so it's one thing where it's like, I know 8 different ways to not do it now. Have a stronger idea of what it is that I need to be doing moving forward in order to make sure that I am just building things the right way. Believe it or not, a large part of the reason why most of them did not last is simply because they were hockey puck growth businesses. Hockey puck growth is not sustainable. It's not. And I didn't understand what growth meant, and I mismanaged the growth simply because I could not handle the capacity, and I didn't know what it meant to scale in a way that really made sense. I had a lot of businesses that really helped me pay for school, pay for undergrad. And then when I graduated, I have never known a W-2 job. I've never worked in corporate. I've never had a 9-to-5. Honestly, I would love to. And there may or may not be some things in the works just so that I can say that I did it. I think that at this season of my life, I would love an opportunity to take the skills that I have and adapt them and then further develop them and just learn and grow more like as an individual and as a person. I'm really, really excited for the opportunity to do some of those things. But for the time being, I'm still a serial entrepreneur. As of right now, I'm a full-time realtor, and I love my job. I love my job. A lot of people ask me, like, why did I get into real estate? The reason why I got into real estate is because I've had experience with being an entrepreneur, like I said, for 10, 11 years. And being a full-time entrepreneur, being fully commission-based, like that's not something that's new to me. I really wanted to take a job that allowed me to leverage all of my skills. So a lot of people wondered at the time what I did with that 11 years. I was actually a marketing strategist, and I worked with a lot of cool companies, the National Basketball Players Association, Think 540, I think it's called. I've worked with Best Buy, I've worked with Target, I've worked with Al Harrington on his brands Replay CBD and Viola brands, and a few natural hair care companies and things like that, a few hairstylists, a few natural hair brands in Atlanta. And the list really does go on and on and on and on. At one point in my life, I was an artist. I actually painted and sold my artwork to pay for school. I hosted art shows around the city. And I've actually sold off most of my pieces except the ones that my mom was like, you can't get rid of those because I want them. I'm like, but are you paying for them though? There's that. So at first I was an artist. Then I was a marketing strategist, and I did marketing strategy for about 10 years, like I said. After marketing strategy, being a marketing strategist and being in that marketing and branding space, I still do all of those things. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to transition into a place in my life where, as opposed to doing those things for other people, I wanted to leverage those skills to do those things for myself. Because even at an early age, I made a lot of people a lot of money. And I also was making a lot of money. At one point, I was making $15,000 to $20,000 a month. And again, hockey puck growth. As a graduate student, I had no idea how to manage that kind of money in a way that made sense. I'll also tell you, being a graduate student full-time and being an entrepreneur full-time to pay for my bills, because one thing about grad school, it will definitely take money from you before it puts money back in your pockets. It just didn't make sense for me. And my business was growing. It was honestly a lot of stress. Stress wasn't worth the money. So at a certain point, the stress wasn't worth also balancing school. So that was a thing. And then after that, the marketing itself and the clients and it was just a lot. It was a lot. And so at a certain point, I just decided that I wanted to actually transition out of marketing full time. Now, I do market as a coach. I do still help some of my older clients from time to time. They'll tap in. They actually refer to me as their little Olivia Pope, which can be a great time because you're in demand. But also, again, y'all remember the kind of stress Olivia Pope was under. Y'all had that woman drinking a quart of red wine a day. keeping bourbon in the, like, that's not what I want for myself. Whew, that's not the kind of stress that I want. I want to live a easy, soft life of my choosing. I want to create a life for myself where I can just kind of enjoy and be happy and do the things that I love and have the impact that I want, simply because those are things that I want to do and not necessarily because I have to do them from a place of like scarcity or need or like grabbing at straws to try to make something work. So that brought me to real estate because I have a huge passion for public health, and I actually studied public health policy at Emory. And so I wanted to find a career that allowed me to combine my passion for public health with all of the skills and stuff that I had for marketing. I literally was asleep one night and I had a dream, and in the dream it was like, you should be a realtor. You would be great at it, and it allows me to have positive impacts on certain public health outcomes and initiatives without necessarily like working for the CDC and like tracking disease transmission and like who's sick and who's not, because like that's not my ministry. One thing about me that you will quickly learn, math is not my strong suit. My mom was a math teacher for 40 years. That gene did not get passed down to me. My friends will tell you all the time, Diana is terrible at math until it comes to business. Now, when it comes to business, I can rattle some numbers off to you real quick. But if we're not there, do not ask me to do anything related to some calculations. I'm going to give you a firm, I don't know. Or let's pull out the calculator. Let's ask somebody who knows what they're doing, because that is not my ministry. So yeah, that's my backstory. That's how I got into real estate. Now I do real estate full time. I absolutely love it. It is the job of my dreams. I feel like I have found my purpose. I love my clients. I love my coworkers. And honestly, when I say I'm having the time of my life, I really mean that. Now, it is not stress-free. It is not stress-free fun. It's stressful fun. Every single day is a new day. Every transaction is completely different. Every client is a different personality, a different set of goals, a different set of problems, a different set of challenges, a different set of resources. And my job as a realtor is to really just triage, what are your pain points? What do you need? What are you looking to do? What are your goals? And then help leverage all of my resources and my entire network to help them get to where they want to be. And I tell people all the time, anybody can sell your house. Anybody can help you buy a house. Honestly, you could sell your own house, or you could buy a house yourself if you wanted to without representation. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. Not only because I would be without a job, but also because it is never in your best interest to play with what for a lot of people is the largest investment that they will ever make and let your ego cost you money, or let your ego put you in a terrible position simply because you don't want to work with someone, or you think that you know more than they do when they do it all day, every day as a profession. Because of those reasons, I like to try to help avoid those things, and I like to help people. What a lot of people don't know is that there's something called the social determinants of health, which is your 5 key factors to how healthy or unhealthy you are as an individual and as a community. And so what that means is that built environment, like where you live, your zip code or whatever, that actually makes up the majority of built environment and education, as well as like economic stability and access to quality education. So those make up the majority of how healthy you are as a person, and how healthy your family is, and how healthy your community is. Real estate is my way of just kind of like pushing the needle forward, helping my community, sewing back into the communities that sew into me, and just, you know, all that fun stuff. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about my background, and a little bit about what I'm doing right now. Hopefully I will have a huge announcement for you guys in a couple of months. But as of right now, one thing about me, I don't really like to speak on things until I know that they're like locked and loaded. So as that continues to develop, I will definitely come and let you guys know how that went, how that's going, and I'm sure that's something that y'all will be super, super excited about. So that's one announcement that I'm very, very excited to make. Hopefully around April. If you don't hear me talk about it ever again, just know that that means that something did not shake and a cookie crumbled in the wrong direction. But you know, if it is meant to be done, it will be done. They say write it down and make it plain. So it has been written in my journals. It's been written on my vision board. And I'm hoping that that is something that comes to fruition for this year. Hit the subscribe button, come along, join your girl on this journey of YouTube. Come on in, man. It's a great time. The water's fine. And I would love to speak to you guys in the comments. So if you have a question about anything that I've talked about today, if anything specifically interests you more than something else, I'm really just trying to get a feel of what y'all like, what you need, what you want to hear more about. So please don't hesitate to just drop a comment below so that I can kind of get a feel for what interests you most, so that I can make sure that I'm tailoring the channel and the content to the things that you want to see and the things that you want to hear.